What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best crossbow and dagger build in Throne and Liberty. So at the start I will give you a quick overview of the playstyle. Then I will explain what skills and upgrades should you focus on. Then as well we will go into what is the best gear and how to get it. And then finally we will take a look at the weapon masteries, your attributes, the skill rotations, and even what guardian should you use. So we would be able to get the highest damage possible and much more. So for the choice of weapons we are using the crossbow and daggers. This setup right now offers the highest single target damage in the game. The reason behind this is that we will be able to constantly reach 20 stacks of thunderclouds, which will enable us to use our thunderclouds bombing skill for every 3 to 4 seconds for massive amounts of damage. So let's take a look at our setup. And first of all we have our skills. So for the defensive skill we use the Black Blade. While for active skills we get the Inject Venom, Mother Nature Protest, Selfless Diffusion, Mortal Mark, Nimble Leap, Quick Fire, Mana Exchange, Knife Throwing, Fatal Stigma, Cleaving Moonlight, Brutal Incision, and Weak Point Shot. As you can see from the gameplay, I don't have all of these same skill icons on my bar. This is because the icons will change depending on our specialization setup. So Inject Venom will turn into the Lightning Infusion, and Brutal Incision will turn into the Thunderclouds Bombing. And then for passive skills we get the Bloodlust, Nature's Power, Ambidexterity, Piercing Strike, Assassin's Instincts, Wrathful Edge, Destructive Fang, and Murderous Energy. Next we have the skill specialization, and for Inject Venom we get the Lightning Infusion and cooldown reduction. Then for Selfless Diffusion don't get anything. Then for Nimble Leap select the consecutive use and cooldown reset. Then for Mana Exchange get the skill effect enhanced. Then for Fatal Stigma get the damage increase. Then for Brutal Incision select the Thunderclouds Bombing. Then for Mother Nature's Protest get the Lightning Arrow. Then for Mortal Mark don't get anything. Then for Quick Fire select the minimum chain fire, damage increased and cooldown. Then for Knife Throwing get the additional hit. Then for Cleaving Moonlight select the consecutive use, effect accumulation and attack speed. And finally for Weak Point Shot don't select anything. Next we have the weapon mastery, and this is how it should look like for the crossbow. So first of all get the middle, and then the entire bottom row. And then again this is how it should look like for the daggers. So pretty much the same thing, just get the middle and then the bottom row. Next let's take a look at our gear, and all of this you can easily farm yourself. If you are looking for a farming build that uses green gear, then check out my leveling guides that are already up on the channel. So we are using the Steel Flurry crossbow with traits like the hit chance, heavy attack chance, and critical hit. This should be self-explanatory, but all gear should be at its max level, so 6 for green and 9 for blue and purple. And you can get this items crafting recipe from conquest rewards such as the Spectral Abyss or the Cave of Desperation. Next we have the Daggers of Resistance with hit chance, heavy attack chance, and critical hit chance. You can get it from the Precious Blessing pouch, or by defeating the Evil Eye, Adentus, Chernobog, or the Armadillo. Next we have the Feather Jakeskin Mask with ranged evasion, magic evasion, and max health. You can get it from the Roaring Temple or the Cursed Wasteland. Next we have the Deadeye Cloak with skill damage resistance, debuff duration, and mana regen. You can get it from the Precious Blessing pouch, or by defeating the Galu Archers and the Dark Assassin. Next we have the Soul Mirror Carapace with ranged evasion, magic evasion, and buff duration. You can only get it from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Nature's End Gloves with added attack speed, max health, and melee evasion. You can get it from the Cave of Desperation or from the Temple of the Slaughter. Next we have the Feathered Drakeskin Breeches with magic evasion, mana regen, and ranged evasion. You can get it from the Cursed Wasteland. Next we have the Glade Stalker Boots with ranged evasion, magic evasion, and max health. You can get it from the Spectral Abyss or the Cave of Destruction, or as well by defeating the Mutant Test Subject, the Sluggish Zombie, or the Ghoul. Next we have the Ecliptic Pendant with skill damage boost, buff duration, and mana regen. You can only get it from the Butcher's Canyon Conquest. Next we have the Bracers of the Primal King with max health, skill damage resistance, and debuff duration. You can get it from the Licorious Equipment Chest or from the Cave of Destruction. Next we have the Violent Signet with max health, skill damage boost, and buff duration. You can get it from the Cursed Wasteland Conquest. Next we have the Ring of Robustness, with mana regen and skill damage boost. You can get it from the uncommon accessory chest or by defeating the Evil Eye. And finally we have the Belt of Meditation, with max health and skill damage resistance. You can get it from the uncommon chests or by defeating the Spectral Wizard or the Orc Shadowmancer. Next up we have the attributes, and depending on your gear you should adjust them accordingly. So the crossbow and daggers excel when stacking very high critical hit, attack speed and maximum weapon damage. And all of these three things are given to you by stacking dexterity, so that is our main priority. And for your first goal, we want to get to 50 dexterity. Then second of all, we want to get to 30 perception, for that 100 plus hit chance. And in future, we will get up to 40, for that extra 5% buff duration. And then lastly, we spend our leftover points into strength or wisdom. I personally prefer strength, so at some point I could reach 30 and get the extra health. Next we have our Guardian choice, and these creatures are special transformations that add offensive or defensive buffs to your character for 30 seconds. And for this build, the best one is the Shade Remnant Steno, because he shoots projectiles against all enemies around you. These projectiles that hit enemies will proc a bunch of different effects from our skills. So the Thundercloud's Beacon will proc from the Lightning Infusion, then additional projectiles will proc the Mother Nature Protest, and we will get even more bonus damage from the procs on the Mortal Mark. So in short, if you want an easy way to increase your DPS, then here it is. And now finally we have come to the gameplay. And our build in PVE is all about getting 20 stacks of Thunderclouds, and then using the Thunderclouds bombing to deal massive amounts of damage. And because of our setup, we can keep doing this every 3 to 4 seconds. So the highest damage rotation is to first of all use the Lightning Infusion, then Mother Nature Protest, then Fatal Stigma, then Mortal Mark, then Cleaving Moonlight, then Quick Fire, then Selfless Diffusion, then Thunderclouds Bombing, then Knife Throwing, then Cleaving Moonlight again, and then the Thunderclouds Bombing again, and then from here we just rinse and repeat. So the quick idea behind this is that our first 3 skills will do damage and give us bunch of stacks, which then we use most of our DPS skills to do damage. And then lastly we activate the Thunderclouds Bombing with full 20 stacks for massive amounts of damage. Also skills like the Selfless Diffusion will help lower your cooldowns to the point where you're constantly rotating through your skills with little to no downtime between cooldowns. And on top of that, the Selfless Diffusion increases the chance for our 2 weapons to proc the offhand attack increase, which will on top of everything else increase our damage by 2 or 4 times. This is something only crossbows and daggers can do, and that's why it can do so much damage. And then finally, if we ever run into mana problems, then we can activate the Mana Exchange or the Block Blade. Both of these skills are solid choices for gaining and maintaining mana at all times. And that's about it. So if you enjoyed this video, click like, subscribe and comment. And if you're interested in more content, then check out my channel, and I will see you in the next one. So take it easy, peace.